the total area, and around 6.4 million cotton farmers are.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Can you start from the beginning, sir? There was some technical glitch.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, one and all. In the second, this is my second talk on cotton cultivation. In the first, in the first part of it, we had discussed about the cotton, the varieties involved, and the cotton area, how the cotton development had occurred. That is the cotton research and development over the years. In the present series, we are coming to the topic called as cotton cultivation, economics, and export opportunities. As you all know, there are around 328 million hectares of cultivable gross area is there, of which 141 million hectares are under agriculture. That is the cultivation, of which rice occupies the major, and the second highest is cotton. It occupies around 6.7% of the total cultivable area, and around 6.4 million cotton farmers are associated. Here, it's 6.4 million cotton farmers means including the agriculture and allied industries like the textile industries. And also, if you see per capita average land holdings of the farmers, it is around 1.5 hectares only, and 25%. And but this, what we call as the 6.7% of the total area, which comes to around 13 million hectares, is about 25% of the global area. You can just imagine how much of cotton area we are occupying. And of this 13.04 million hectares, more than 65% is under rain-fed and only 25% under irrigated. That too in the areas of the Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. And that's in northern India, it is under irrigated condition, and very little under the southern central areas. And of the present, there are around 98% of the cotton area is coming under the transgenic cotton, that is the BT cotton, BG2 hybrids. If you say the cotton cultivation, I'll just brush up from the previous ones. Like we have 4 major cultivable species. There are around 55 wild species. Of the cultivated species, the first one is the American cotton, that is the G. hirsutum. This is called as a tetraploid. That is the 4N is its number, and it is a very high yielding, medium to long staple, and 20s to 60s count in yarn. When we go for spinning, this is one which counts. And the next species is Egyptian cotton, that is called as G. barbadans. This also is a tetraploid, which is famous for its very good fiber quality. It can be spun to 120s yarn. But the major problem is it is a very shy bearer and highly sensitive to climatic conditions, climatic changes. And the other 2 species are called as G. arboreum, which is a diploid, and G. herbaceum. This also is an diploid. This comes under the non-spinnable to very short staple cotton fibers, but they are highly tolerant to biotic and abiotic stresses. These are G. arboreum is the native of India. So they are, as such, they are tolerant, and only major problem is they are coming under the category of non-spinnable to very short staple, where you can go only for denim type. And now I will just again talk about the area under cultivation and how it spread. As you all know, with the partition of India to Pakistan and India, most part of the agricultural cotton cultivable area went off to Pakistan, and all the mills were placed in India. So during partition, that is around only it was around 4.3 million hectares was available, with only 2.3 million bales available for the industries. So that time the government felt very need for working on cotton, which was a very important economic crop. So immediately they started the research activity in 1966. The first the coordinated research activity for cotton development was started at Coimbatore, where I am staying here. And from that day onwards, we have released around 300 non-BT hybrids and around 3,000 to 4,000 BT hybrids. Sorry, 1,500 BT hybrids till date. And now the area is around 13.04 million hectares with a production of around 34 million bales. That is around, if you see from, I'll come, how the quantitative change occurred also, I would like to say, because it is not at one go we could achieve this goal. It's we started in 1950, as I told, the research started. During that time, there is the major problems also, you should see, based on the problems, the research activity went on. The major problem during 1950 to 60s was the sucking pest was a major problem. And so we started working on jacids, that is jacids and aphids, which was the problem. On that, we started working and developing varieties and hybrids. But by 1960s to 70s, we started, once this was targeted, that is, we achieved the jacid tolerant lines, then we started working on the fiber quality improvement. And from 1960 to 70s, we worked on fiber quality development. But that time, again, the problem of the major havoc, that is the pink bollworm, started. And that also was being addressed. And 1972 to 74, the hybrid era started, wherein, as I would like to mention here, ours, that is, India is the first country to develop the hybrids in cotton. That is the H4 hybrid from Gujarat was the first one which was developed and commercially cultivated. It was in way back in 1972. And then the hybrid era started with slowly increasing its area from the normal varieties to the hybrids. From 2000 onwards, with the BT, introduction of BT in 2002, the complete transformation of Indian agriculture happened, wherein the whole area, that is 95 to 98% of the total area at present, is under the BT hybrids. And again, with the 2002 onwards, when the BT hybrids were introduced, there was a concomitant increase in both area and production. So we started achieving a very good deal. But anything, as you see, there is always a point of no return. That is, the plateau is reached. And in our cotton production also, the plateau has reached between 2015 to 17, and we are not able to break this jinx of increasing the yield. And we are now stagnated between, as I told, 35 to 36 million bales only we are able to do. Okay, and again, I would like to stress on one major part which was very important for this transformation. That is the transgenics. In the world, as of now, there are around 526 transgenic events which has been developed for various crops. And for cotton alone, there is around 67 events have been established effective for various abiotic and biotic stresses. And in India, we have around, the approval is given for around 6 transgenic events, which are exclusively again for only the bollworms. In India, we are given it the approvals for bollworms for 6 transgenic events. Of these 6 transgenic events, only 2, that is MON 15985 and MON 531. These are the 2 transgenics developed by Monsanto, and in India, its partner is Mahiko, which are commercially developed it, and also the sole proprietors for these 2 genes. And it is these are the 2 events which are now commercially used for cotton cultivation. But these events have become now slightly becoming redundant, because these 2 events were developed for bollworms. That is, there are major bollworms was the American bollworm and pink bollworm, of which the pink bollworm has started developing resistance to this, and there is an outbreak, which is again causing a serious concern. But for the American bollworm, it is still resistant. So now new events has to come up, and then alone we will be in a position to overcome these hiccups, that is the blockages in the resistance development. So we are working on it, and the government is still working, and the various events are coming, which is under the preliminary evaluation. And I hope by the next 1 or 2 years, we'll be getting various events for the pink bollworm, the herbicide resistance, and sucking pest tolerance, drought tolerance, and all these things will be coming up, which is being evaluated. Now, as I said, for the last 5 to 10 years, there is total yield stagnation. The yield is around 500 to 600 kg lint per hectare. Even though there is almost use of doubling of fertilizers, doubled use of insecticides, and the cost of cultivation, as you all know, with the introduction of the NREGA and other aspects in the cotton cultivation, the labors available for farmers is getting restricted, and so the cost of cultivation has enhanced drastically. And with this enhanced cost of cultivation, the profitability to farmers has started minimizing, and now it has been, as per the CSCP data, it is showing around 10,000 rupees per hectare is the profit margin for the farmers. But at this rate, because the cotton is for more than 6 to 8 months, with 10,000 as a profit, I doubt the farmers will try to continue with these things. They may change the crop. So we have started now, the government is targeting how to enhance the profitability. And in this direction, we have been working very, very vigorously, because as you know, in India, we are cultivating cotton across various agroclimatic zones, like in North Zone, what we call, which constitutes about Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. They are all irrigated, and there the problems are different. There the major problem is the CLCV, that is leaf curl virus is the major culprit there, and then soil salinity, the high cost of labor, these two are the major problem there. And even there, the other problem is the fiber quality, because there is the cotton is grown from April to September, October. The fiber quality is not able to improve. They are only short to medium staple cotton is only being produced in the North Zone. Then coming to the Central and South Zone. Central Zone consists of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Orissa, and South Zone, Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. And here also, the major problem is the rainfed situation and the sucking pests and intermittent drought and climatic changes, which is creating a problem. So we have to address all these things, and addressing all these things, we have come out with various strategies, what you call as localized strategies to address these issues. Friends, I would like to just inform you, here at Coimbatore, it's raining very heavily, and anytime my link may be cut. I have shared the presentation with Madam. Probably you all can have a look at it. But still, something bad happens, I will continue. Yeah. And also, you see, with the change, as I told, with the hybrid, once the hybrid cotton was introduced in 1972, there was a variation which India was known only for the diploid cotton, that is arboreum and herbaceums. With the introduction of the BT hybrids, the interspecific hybrid and the intraspecific hybrid, that is hirsutum into hirsutum and hirsutum into Barbadense hybrid, started developing in 1970s and 80s. And when it came to 2000, that is the BT era, which started in 2002, the whole transformation was between H10, that is hirsutum to hirsutum, and medium duration, medium to long staple BT hybrids only have been developed till date. So the cultivation also has changed drastically. You can see in 1947, the area, as I told you, was between the herbaceum and arboreums, and little part of hirsutum was there. So it was, the production was more of around 60%, 67% medium and 33% short staple. But with 2000, that is just the entry of the BT hybrids, you can see there are 4 to 5 types of quality of cotton which was being produced, with short staple around 7, long staple 7, extra long staple 7, long staple 19, like this. Because all these 5 to 6 categories of fiber quality is very much important for the Indian textile industries, wherein they have hosieries are there, then textile mills are there, many types of fibers are required for them for doing their regular activity. But now in 2020, if you see, the short staple is almost nil, and even the extra long staple, which was around 7%, has reduced to 2%. And it is now between medium to a long staple cotton has come up in the market, which has again created a lopsidedness, which is forcing India to go for imports. Now, as I told, we have been working on various strategies to increase the yield. One major strategy which we have worked out was developing BT varieties and also compact non-BT varieties, which can be well suited for high density planting. This high density planting means now the normal spacing is, say, we go for 60 by 30 by 60 or 45 by 75, like that. Now we are going for a strategy called high density planting, where we are almost doubling the plant population. And for that, we have developed varieties, around 14 varieties, which are highly suited for the hybrid, the high densities, and also around 14 BT varieties with good extra long stable fiber qualities. And as also you know that just developing a variety is not the final. For any production strategy, we have to have all the other parameters in line. That is, suppose you are working for a hybrid, variety high density planting. So automatically the number of plant increases. So you should also enhance the fertilizer usage and also other plant protection and production strategies, which we have worked out for nutrients, water management, tillage, harvesting, disease and pest control, weed management, and all those things. And we have come out with various strategies, because this was very much important to enhance our varieties. Because as you know, even across the world average for productivity is around 700 kg lint per hectare. And our Indian average is somewhere now around 450 to 500 kg lint. That is 3 times less, almost 2/3 of the production only is possible in India. But in other countries, like in Australia, it is 2,600 against 700 kg lint, and Brazil 1,600. China also it's 1,500. Even Pakistan, it is around 900 kg lint. So we are now working how best we can increase by changing the plant idiotype, that is the geometry of the plant and the production, and also the plant characteristics. Like changing the plant idiotype to a single stick plant type, wherein we can have only the main stem growing and the bolts developing around it. And also for water management, we have for rainfed strategies, we have worked out various strategies which are coming up. As I told, for enhancing the production, what we are going with bunching of fruits, that is the bolts, and also the single stick, that is, it's on the main stem itself, the cotton starts growing. The boll develops and you can. So this will be highly amenable for mission picking. Now, the other major problem, as I was saying, was the labors. So that we are now working towards mechanization also. So for mechanization, we require an ideal plant type, which we have developed and with good fiber qualities. Like you can see here, it is under the ELS cotton, that is extra long staple category, and it can be spun up to 80 count. So this is a very good fiber quality. And this is the high density planting which I was talking about, wherein we can enhance the population, almost double it, and so will be its yield parameters. The yield characteristics and all those things I have just given, which may. And the next strategy, what we are trying is, this is under the semi-urban, that is peri-urban, what we call, in and around the cities, wherever agricultural lands are there, we can go for multi-tier cropping system. Because as I told, the cotton crops takes around 6 to 8 months for its final harvesting. And in the initial 1 to 1.5 months, the plant growth will be very slow. During that time, if we try to grow a few additional short duration crops, maybe the radish, cluster beans, beetroot, and all those things, which will be a very good profitable venture. And why this will be possible only under semi-urban, peri-urban areas, so that it can be immediately shifted to the cities where it can be utilized effectively. So under such conditions, we have worked out what is the best combination and how much will be the gross returns, how will be the net return, what will be the BC ratio. So cost benefit ratio, when you use these radish, coriander, or beetroot, the ratios that you can see here, Normal cotton, it will be around 2 will be the BC ratio, but with inclusion of radish, it can go to 4.8, with beetroot 6.9, coriander 5.9. So like this, we can try to enhance the profitability and also the living conditions of the farmers. And the other major technologies which we have developed is called, one is a polyethylene mulch. This mulch can be used effectively for 2 years once you lay it down. Here, what it helps us is, as you can see, it can totally cover the soil surface. So by that, the transpiration loss is less. This is ideal under rainfed conditions, and also the weed management. The weeds will not come up, which is a major problem in cotton, because nearly 3 to 4 weedings is to be done during the cropping season. This can be avoided by using the polymulch. Here, the polymulch once laid, you can, once the cotton is removed, then you can go for maize or other crops in the same dibbling where we have done. And the crop can be, the polymulch can be used for around 2 years without much damage. So this is how we have worked out, and also combination of polymulch with the drip irrigation and fertigation also has been worked out, wherein it has enhanced the yield from 34 quintals to 54 quintals. That is around 50% increase in yield, and also 123% increase in the water use efficiency. So these type of technologies are there, which are best suited for the various agroecological zones which we have recommended, and it can be used. This is how it is laid. And here also we are working on the color combinations, because color combinations also helps out. When you go for silver lining type, it will reflect the light with the long wavelength radiations. This will create a problem for the insect pests attack, because the reflected light will be in the long range, which is called as the heat wave radiation. So under such heat wave radiations, the insect pest damage under these conditions will be less. So that also we have been working out, and we have worked out also for cotton, and it is effectively being used. And these are various growing mechanism, whether you will be going directly sowing or making ridges and furrows, because under irrigated conditions, and also wherever the rainfalls are heavy, it is always we go for ridge and furrow method, wherein the water can be drained out. That also has been worked out under various strategies. Now we are also talking about soil conservation and also enhancing the fertility of the soil. To do this, what we have gone, during the off season, we have gone for ragi cultivation. That is, the ragi will be sowed just like green manure. We will be taking up ragi, and before the ragi tiller comes out, we will be plowing it into the soil. So this will enrich the soil with the nitrogenous fertilizers. So these are the other major aspect what we are working is, now we are, as I told you, we are trying to go for high density planting and also for mechanization. If you have to go for mechanization, there are 2-3 parameters which are very much essential. Like there should be the plant height should be at a minimum level. Like in the present scenario, all our varieties and hybrids go for 3 to 4 feet, and it spreads across also. The spreadage is around 1 to 2 feet. So under such conditions, the machine which is being developed or which has already been developed cannot operate. It requires an operating range of around 2 to 3 feet. The plant height should be 2 to 3 feet, and the bolts which are being developed should be above 80 centimeters from the soil, and the gap between two plant to plant, that is the row spacing, should be around 70 to 80 centimeters. So looking into all these things, now we have been working on how to manipulate or change the plant idiotype by using various growth regulators. Here we have mepiquat chloride, which is also commercially available as Chamatkar, and many other growth retardants are there which has been used. You can see these two photos. Without the spray of mepiquat chloride, you can see it goes to around 4.5 to 5 feet. With this, you can reduce it to 3 to 3.5 feet, which is ideal for the plant. Bringing the bole busting, because in cotton, the bole development starts somewhere around 35 days. The squaring starts somewhere around 35 to 40 days, and the flowering at 75. And bole development starts around 80 and it continuously grows, and around 150 to 160 days, you can see almost 3 sets of boll development at various stages. So machines cannot run under these conditions because they are of a different type. Once the machine is run, the whole plant will be damaged and you may not be able to get back the other fruiting parts. So we are working on now synchronous boll busting, and also we're trying to use boll openers, which few companies have come out with. We are working on it because at present commercially it is not available in India, nor it has been CBIRC has not recommended those chemicals for Indian conditions. So we are at the research stage where we are trying to use various growth boll openers and synchronized boll busting. But for growth regulators, we have these things which is now being regulated, and we are able to use the mechanical harvesters for harvesting. These are the other mechanisms. Will come cross over that actually. And then the next major one is now we are also working on colored cotton. See, colored cotton was not new. Even in the age-old days where the white cotton was under threat, we had colored cotton. Colors were limited and the fiber quality was very poor. You could not even remove it, spin it. And under such conditions, this cotton cannot be used. So now, for the past 5 to 10 years, we have started working on the cotton development. We have now three major colors. One is the brown, light brown, dark brown, and green color. That is the shades, around 7 different shades of cotton fibers are available now. And also we have improved upon the fiber quality. Now spinnable cotton has come into picture. And so with this, we will be able to spin cotton and develop good quality fibers. Now, most of the people are very conscious about the pollutants and also irritants which are being used for the dyeing and color development for fastening in textile industries. So many countries are now preferring to have either the organic cotton where no fertilizer, no pesticides are used, or cotton. So under such, we are having a very good array of fiber quality and color. Basically, the 3 major colors, and then with good fiber quality we have developed. And now it is available in for commercial cultivation, and they have started cultivating it. I think in the coming years, we have now restricted to niche areas because with the cotton is often cross-pollinated. So there is a very chance the color of this may come over or be taken over by the white ones, and so we may lose white colored cotton. That fear is there, but still we are working on this so that this can be used only in niche areas. Actually, these are the various cotton, and nowadays they have started working on the colored cotton, and it's used in various under various programs, be it preparing bags, kids apparels, or even the upholsteries is being done. So this is one part. The next part, first was the production part, now research part, and now coming to the textile part. Once the fiber is developed, we have to use it effectively. And now the cotton accounts for more than 60% of the total yarn produced worldwide. That means most of the yarn goes for the textile industry itself, making it most important raw material for textile industry. And if you see what is the fiber, it is only, you can see a cellulose. It contains cellulose 90 to 95%, hemicellulose and pectin 4 to 5%, vaccines and fats 0.5 to 1%, protein 1.5%, and ash 1 to 1.8%. So this is only the fiber. That is the purest form of cellulose fiber is, and its cellulose fibers are valued for their strength and their ability to absorb moisture. That is, water absorption capacity is around 65%, and is also skin friendly and thermoprotectant. So this is the one. Like pure cellulose means 1 primary wall 1 nanogram per mm. On the secondary wall, it is 130 nanogram per mm is the availability of the pure cellulose. Now, if you see what cotton is, how much it is produced, what is being used, as I told, the cotton production started increasing. It was around 119 lakh bales in 1991, 92. Now it is 345 lakh bales with a growth of around 190%. And it is exclusively used for textile industries. The cotton industry in India leans towards the apparel exports, contributing about 51% of the total apparel exports during the year 2018. And approximately 74% of the apparel exported from India is made from cotton. Because there is also synthetic fibers which are available, which are being used. But in India, which is exported, around 75% of the apparel is made from cotton. Now, cotton is freely exportable is exported to US, Bangladesh, China, Vietnam, even Pakistan. Some quantity of fiber is being exported. India, Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, and the export potential and its changes. If you see, during 2015, India's export was expected to jump to 43%. That is around 10 million bales. It has been increased now. Due to this COVID, there was a reduction, sudden dip in the exports, but again it has bounced back and it has reached a plateau. It is around now. It is around 178 million bales is being exported. See, the cotton made up, that is, it accounts to around 47 billion pounds, which is accounting to around 40% of the global trade is being done through textiles. And again, when you see the total cotton textiles and clothing exports, it stood at around 1.52, that is around 21.5 billion during 2018. And now it is expected that it will jump by around 26%. So there is a good scope for increasing the exports. But what about the production? Because until and unless we increase the production, we cannot increase the export. And also we have a very good consumption of, as I showed you, around 314 lakh bales is being produced, of which around 280 lakh bales is for our own internal consumption. That is, they are consumed, they are converted and then exported. But the raw cotton export is very low. Now coming again to the exports individually, you see, in 2018-19, it was around 7,000, and 2018-19, 7,900. And as I told, during COVID time, it's drastically reduced to 5,700 and then slowly increased to 6,300. Now 21-22, it has increased to 9,600. And we are expecting that in the next coming year, it will be around 10.2% increase will be there, which will boost up the exports. But how to, for that demand, whether we have the input, that's the raw material is available, is a big question mark. And as I told already that we are exporting to various countries like Bangladesh, China, Sri Lanka, Korea, Egypt, all these places we are exporting. And the exports are both mostly about cotton yarns only, but not the raw cotton. And if you see across the world, who are the major producers and who are the major importers, that both you should see. In India, I mean, if you take across the world, China and India are almost at loggerheads, and this time China is just outbeaten by few lakh bales in production during 22-23, which is the final figure or is yet to come. But otherwise, all through for the past 4 to 5 years, India and China are the major producers. And if you talk about the leading importers for the consumers, the China was major. Now slowly they have reduced, and now Pakistan, Bangladesh, Turkey have become a major players for importing. And they are importing raw cotton and making it to quality apparels and exporting that is the conversion, and then exporting. They have been earning a huge amount of money. So now the Indian government has made it clear to all the textile industries and to the cotton market that the export of raw cotton should be restricted, the imports should be reduced, because in India we are importing very small quantity. That too, as I told, there is a shift. India requires all the 4 or 5 quality fibers, of which we are now having shortfall of the short staple and extra long staple. So these two categories are now at present imported. Now the government has given an impetus. Lot of funds have been pumped in for research development and also encouraging the farmers to grow cotton of these two categories. So in the coming years, in the next 1 to 2 years, I am sure that the import of these two cotton, that is the extra long staple, around 10 to 15 lakh bales is being imported. That will be restricted to almost zero, because we'll be producing very large quantity of extra long staple cotton. And so we'll, from the next 1 or 2 years, to India will be totally independent for the textile requirement. And whatever, I think the way the textile industry is growing in India, whatever we produce, nothing will be left for export. That is the raw material. All will be used, and for the requirement or for their demands, I hope the farmers and the research institutes will come up with very good quality and productivity, so that we have a very good production in the coming years, overcoming all these abiotic and biotic stresses, and help the industries to grow better. And this is just a final figure which I would like to show you all about the cotton import export. If you see what was the output and the users, that is, output is the production, users is by the market. If you see 2018-19, you can see here, I'll talk more about India only here, only little was being that is used, that is imported. The production was very good. Here you see export, output and import. Import was very less right from the beginning, as I told, but China was, even though they produce equal to India, they also was importing lot of fibers for their industry. And there was a shift. You can also see here 25.8 million was the output, 26 is the usage. So this one, the difference of 1.1, here it was only 0.4 million metric tons, but that started changing over the years, and now it has become almost equal. That is, output is equal to the export. That means there is no leftover cotton over the years. Every year there used to be little bit of leftover of the cotton produced, so that could have been used as a buffering stock. But nowadays there is no buffering stock at all, because everything is consumed. And with the technology development in the textile industries, the demand for the cotton is increasing, and the conversion rate is very high, which because agriculture is a fixed commodity, like you cannot change within a span of few days, or every year you cannot keep increasing. But the textile, that is, machines can be, number of machines can be enhanced, or the number of working hours can be enhanced, so that they can utilize all the produce which comes out. Biological materials cannot be developed like that. So there may be shortage in the coming years, which we are trying to reduce it as much as possible. Because once there is a lopsided, the demand and supply, there is a imbalance, then the pricing of the produce will be a problem. And then the commitments, that is import-export commitments by the countries will collapse. There will be a lot of problems in the coming days if the production is not increased, for which all the countries are working around. And as I told, for the industry part of it, we are very much have to work on the advantages. The industries work on what are the advantages, how the opportunities and the restraints and challenges. Like advantages means, now suddenly when the COVID came in, many of us were not that much conscious about the cotton, the gloves, the face mask, or many other hygienic parts of it. But suddenly with the COVID and we got exposed what it is, now there is a lot of awareness about the cotton, its use. And also lot of cotton is being used for various other activities like surgical cotton, absorbent cotton, and many other things which are coming in the later part. And Similarly, about the rising hygiene, that is for various hygienic products, the cotton is being used. So there is a diversity in use of cotton. Initially, it was used only for the textile. Then there is diversity in use for the textile, for the medical purposes, for the hygiene, and now there is a lot of demand, as I told you, now for the research and development. Previously, we used to talk, if you all know, that coconut was called as kalpavruksha because all part of coconut could be used. That's what it was thought. Now, cotton is nothing less. Cotton also now has come to a stage where all parts of cotton, be it stem, root, flower, fruits, all can be used for commercial purposes. So here a lot of research has gone, and now I'll be showing the various bifurcation, how it is being done. Now with research, they have grown out of, because in cotton, kapas, what you call cotton lint, we have only 35 to 40% as fiber. The other 60 to 65% is the seed weight. So this seed is now being used for various purposes. And oil is the major one. Previously, it was used only as a meal for animals, milch animals. Now, the extracted oil, removing the gossypal, is now effectively used as a vegetable oil also. And then the challenges, as I was saying, the export-import should not be hampered, and the high cost of production has to be addressed. For all these things, we have to work, and industry is also working on this, trying to refine it so that we will not be using any part waste, and everything will be used effectively. And as I saw that import and export, now the projection for the next few years, like now it's 23, and now till 2030 they have analyzed, and now from 2022 it was around 78 billions was the global cotton processing market value. It will be enhanced around 121 billion by dollars by 2028. That itself shows, you see, there is a drastic increase, and the growth rate is around 6 to 7% every year. And by 2030, as I say, what will be the scenario? If you see the production, out of the total production, the major producers will be India and China again, which is around 25 to 30, 20 to 25. That is the whole global market. China and India occupies the production by 50%, and also productivity by 50%. You see, milk consumption also will come to around 50%. And when you talk about the export, USA has 33%. That is, whatever USA produces, it's totally exported. They don't have mills and those things, so they will be exporting the whole thing. And the major importers are, as I told, Indonesia, Turkey, China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, and even now Pakistan also is becoming a major importer because they have mills now, but their productivity is very low. The area of cotton is coming down drastically because of the pink bollworm and CLCV problems in Pakistan. So the problems are many for the industries, the fragmented, the historical government policies, the technology obsolescence, and many are not focusing on the diversification. So these things, and major is they're tackling the aggressive China, because China is producing also maximum, importing maximum, and they are converting all their produce into apparels at a very cheap rate and spreading across the world. So that is at a very low cost, which is becoming, and our Indian produce are not that much economically viable compared to the Chinese cost. So these are things. And now coming again, the final part of it is about the cotton. As I told, 35 to 40% is the fiber, and other 65% is the seed weight. The seeds now, previously they were using only for milk, as I told, feeding for milk animal. Now they have gone for meal, fertilizer, and animal feeds. That is the meal, what we call there. And from the oil extract, we are able to extract around 15 to 16% of oil. This oil was previously we were not able to consume because of gossypal in it. Now they have chemically removed those gossypals during the processing, and now they are being used as vegetable oils purely also, and also mixing with various vegetable oils in various ratios and effectively using. And you have other parts like linters, waste, and hull. Linters can be used for furnishing. That is, linters are small fibers which cannot be spun, very, very small fiber. And they are used as absorbent non-woven medical products, paper and currency, cosmetics, paint, toothpaste, ice creams also they use this hull and paint. And also the cellulose, pure cellulose is one more major thing which is being extracted and used effectively. And the quantum of the produce which is coming in the byproduct. See, the total under Indian condition is it is around 125 lakh tons per annum of seed is produced, and the plant stock which is being produced around 300 million tons, and the byproducts which I had been saying, cotton linters 5 lakh tons per annum. So cotton seed hull 34 lakh. Now cotton seed oil 15 lakh tons. This 15 lakh tons is effectively used in mixing with the vegetable oils, and almost you can see now any branded oil company, you can see the package, you can see a part as oil, cotton seed oil. And also cotton milk is now one more nutritive value has been added to it where they are using it. And then the meal, which is exclusively used for animals. So these are the byproducts. And now to make the value addition is one of the things where India is very poor. Our Indian market has a very bad reputation for the fiber quality aspect of it, wherein all other countries maintain a very good quality. Under Indian conditions, we are not able to maintain for various reasons. One is we are having, as I told, we are having around 100 to 200 different varieties and the seeds which is being marketed, which has been used for cotton cultivation. The hybrid seeds are from various companies with various fiber qualities is one. The second is the drought and waterlogged conditions is creating forced bursting, which is immature fibers are being developed. And the third one is while picking, we are going for manual picking, there is always the leaf dust coming into the picture, human hair mixing, and also they are using gunny bags where the gunny fibers are getting added up. So these things are bringing down the quality and quantity. So now even the government of India has already started branding cotton, because all other countries have their own brands of cotton and the quality is maintained. Now we are going for branding of cotton, tagging, labeling, and so that all these things are being now focused on. In the coming 1 or 2 years, we'll come out with good quality parameters and also the branding, which will be helpful for both the cotton farmers and the textile industries. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patient hearing.
Thank you very much, sir, for an informative presentation. I will take up the questions from the participants now. In the meantime, can you please stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, sure. Sure, madam.
Okay, thank you. I'll take up the questions, sir.
Yes, sure.
What types of cottons are typical to cultivate and why?
No, that's all. We in India require for various categories of fibers for textile industries. Short staple we require, medium staple, long staple, extra long staple. These are for fiber for various quality producers we require it. So for that we have developed various varieties and hybrids which are being used. But in the present scenario, what has happened is, because the short staple and medium staple, the prices are less. Market price is less for their for the produce, but the time taken for production is almost 150 days for them also. So the farmers have shifted now to long staple, which will give them a better price. And also the added advantage is the transgenic, that is a BT is there, which protects them against the bollworms. So now the total transformation has occurred. And all the farmers now would prefer to have the BT hybrids, which are from medium to long stem. That's the only thing. Any other issues?
Yes, sir. I'll move on to the next question. How do farmers adapt to change in climate or weather patterns with respect to cotton farming?
Yeah. This has become a problem to farmers, madam. Because as you know, the north zone, if you take up, during the sowing season, that is April, the temperatures are, that's the time of sowing for them, April, May. During that April, May, the temperature goes till 50 degrees. So the just seedling development, seed will be germinating and they get burned and they're not able to survive. So under such conditions, we are now encouraging farmers to go for seed coating. We are encouraging the textile, seed industry also go for seed coats, which are having drought tolerant, temperature tolerant characters has been added to those seed coats, wherein it is helpful. One, and also we are trying to see that the sowing is done without removing the wheat crop, because generally it is wheat or paddy. After removing wheat or paddy, they go for cotton. We are encouraging farmers to go dibble even when the wheat or paddy is there, so that the temperature doesn't affect much on the germinating seeds. This is one for the north zone. South or central zone, we are developing drought tolerant lines, which are best suited for rain-fed conditions. Is one. And the second one is we are trying to go for short duration of the crop. Because the general crop is around 150 to 180 days. Now we have developed varieties which comes to harvest by 120 to 130, 140 days, so that it can escape most of the drought. Now, as I was talking about also transgenic, they have a lot of events which has been developed, which induces drought tolerance in any crop under any conditions. Only thing is we are waiting for the approval from the GEAC. Once that approval comes, probably we'll be transforming all the available varieties and hybrids with those genes so that they will become drought tolerant genetically. Yes.
Okay, and on to the next question, sir. What are the main challenges faced in growing cotton, and how are farmers addressing these issues?
That's a major. No, now farmers have come a long way. Only thing is now the farmer, previously we used to talk like the farmers are poor, their price will be a problem and all those things. Poor farmers, resource poor farmers. But all cotton farmers are ready to take the seeds at a higher premium price. They are not going for the non-BT varieties, which are cheaper. Non-BT varieties per kg, it is only 200 rupees, but 450 grams of BT hybrids is around 750 to 780 rupees. They are ready to procure, and they are also ready to invest on the fertilizers and pesticides timely. But that is not a problem. But now the major problem is the breakdown in the resistance. As I was saying, pink bollworm resistance is broken in the present BT hybrids. That is creating a problem for the last 2 to 3 years. The pink bollworm, which was a minor pest, has become a major pest, and the yield loss because of pink bollworm is somewhere around 20 to 25%. That is the major problem now the farmers are facing. The other problem is spurious seeds. As I was saying, there are many technologies which are being evaluated. I told many events, the 65 events have been approved for cotton. And in many other countries, there are the events which are commercially cultivated, like the HDBT is commercially cultivated in Australia, US, and many other countries. There are some spurious seed companies which are getting those seed materials, converting them in Indian conditions, and these spurious seeds encouraging, saying farmers that it is drought tolerant, that is pest tolerant, you can herbicide tolerant, like this they are selling in the market. The farmers are taking those things and they are losing. That is a major one. We in India, the strict monitoring of the seeds is slightly lacking, and also because the farmers have the right to take seeds from any place, anywhere. So that restriction is not there. So the farmers are coming right from north to Gujarat or Telangana and taking the seeds and going, which may not be suitable for their conditions and also not approved. So they have lost, like last year we had gone for monitoring in North Zone. In Punjab, more than 20 to 25% of the area was with HTBT. Of course, this is unofficial, I cannot say, but still I'm just putting you, these are all the problems with the farmers face. They think that they can take up anything and go, but once they burn their fingers, they will come back to us. That's the only thing.
Okay. Can you discuss about the choice of fertilizer and pest control strategy in cotton farming?
No, these are all become now almost fixed. Like we know when what exactly the time. Generally for fertilizer, I'll say first. In the south zone where it is 60, 30, 30 is the ratio with which by NPK is being used. So that we recommend the farmers to go for 2 to 3 splits over the growing period. This is for all zone across the zone. Now in Gujarat and other places where the yields are very high, the productivity is high, we are recommending the farmers to go for right up to 300 kg nitrogen so that they get a better plant growth and the compensate for the nutrient depletion from the soil. And also now we recommend for foliar sprays of the nutrients like minor nutrients and macro minor nutrients and trace elements. Now we have developed various combinations. It's also available in the commercial form in the markets that we recommend farmers to go for spray so that will enhance the fiber quality. This is for spray. When it comes for the insecticides, we always recommend till 40 to 50 days. We recommend farmers not to go for any insecticide spray. That is the if at all they find any insect pest, we ask them to go for organic insecticide spray like neem spray, or even now various bioinoculants are available. So through that we will ask them to control the insect pest. Only after 60 days we ask them to go for the chemical sprays, and that also under IPM and IRM strategy. IPM strategies, that is integrated pest management. In that we always, as I told, we have a package or recommendation calendar for each zones, each states, and for type of crop. We are circulating them on a weekly basis during the cropping season so that the farmers will not forget what exactly to be done during that particular season, that particular week. So weekly advisories are being sent. Both we have almost logged in almost all the farmers in our mobile mapping, and we send them voice SMS. And if any requirement by the farmers is there, they can send us through WhatsApp, and we'll be sharing the remedial measures also.
Okay. How do you gauge the current market price for cotton, and how has this influenced cultivation strategies?
That's what, madam. Cultivation strategy, as I told, these are all biological materials. Based on the demand, outrightly we are not able to change our production strategies. You have to start a production strategy, means it will take 4 years for us to produce that particular seed which comes to market. This year, what you see on the farmer's field would have been planned 4 years back. That is the strategy it goes. So outrightly changing the strategy is difficult for biotic materials. But as I told, for the textile mills, they can erect 2 more ginning machine or spinning machine, and they can use the available produce. So that is a major problem. And also I told you, to 2022-23, 25 million 25 million bales is the production, and the consumption was also coming to around 25 million bales. So actually the supply demand is almost 1:1, almost. So the excess is zero or the shortfall is zero. But the next year, if at all due to some vagaries, there is a shortfall in the production, then the price will shoot up. This year also the shooting up of the price. See, the normal market MSP was for a normal one was 5 to 6,000 rupees. Okay, per quintal. But actual market price was 7 to 9,000, and now it has come down to around 6,000. So the demand is more now for the cotton. So the prices are very high. And in the coming years also, how much ever you increase the production, there is always a concomitant increase in the demand. And always the price will be ruling above the MSP.
Okay. Sir, can you please tell us about yourself, your education and career background? What made you take an interest in this particular field?
Yes. Actually, I did my the basic degree, the BSc Agriculture, MSc and PhD from University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore. I'm basically from Bangalore only. So I did. And in 1993, I joined Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and I was posted as scientist in India in the Central Institute for Cotton Research, Nagpur. That is from 1993 onwards. I am in cotton and worked as a scientist, senior scientist, principal scientist. And 2011, I was selected as project coordinator, cotton improvement, and head of the regional station at Coimbatore. From that till date, I am continuing as a project coordinator, coordinating all the research activities for the South Zone. That is South Zone comprising of Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka, and Tamilnadu. All the cotton research and development at Coimbatore Center as a head of the station of Central Institute for Cotton Research. And as a project coordinator, I coordinate all the evaluation, this one multi-location evaluation, release, and the coordination of releases, and also monitoring of all the cotton varieties, hybrids, and other things across India. This is my major activities. That is, I will be associated, be it the varieties developed by the premier CAC, premier institutes like Central Institute for Cotton Research, or the public, all other public sector agriculture universities, or from the private sectors, both BT, non-BT, from any private sector. All these things, whichever material is available before it is commercialized, it will be evaluated through us across the various agroecological zones. And from that, once we will evaluate for 3 years, and whichever is best suited only will be released through a varietal identification committee and then notified by the Department of Agriculture. This is how the process occurs, and I am coordinating all these research activities across India.
Okay, that's very nice to hear about you, sir. Thank you very much. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Dr. Prakash A H for the talk and for answering the questions. I like to also thank all the participants in the meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.